Hello, darlings. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. If you're another YouTuber, let me know down in the comments and I will sub you back. Now stay safe, get your boosters, and here's the video. Hello, darlings. It's Brandy here. If y'all have not known already, my IG pages both got hacked. I can't get them taken down. I don't know if I'll ever get them back, so I'm kind of just cutting off Instagram altogether because it's just a hot ass mess and I can't do anything about it now. So if you have clicked on any links, please change your passwords. Block, 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 report and block, please. I will be on Facebook and TikTok and Pinterest and of course here on YouTube. So if anybody tries to get any kind of information from you or send you any kind of DMs, it's not me, okay? So please be aware and please be careful. That being said, our huge sale is still on. It started this morning and it will go until Monday at right before midnight. And the prices are reduced as well. So not only do you get buy one, get one, you get reduced pricing. So if you are interested, this is going to be the lowest prices by far for a long time. So if you are interested, you should get on it now. All passwords were changed, and regardless, Shopify is responsible for all that information, all your buying information. Even I don't get to see that. So it is totally 100% safe. Please don't worry about that. And I just hope you guys take advantage of it. Alright, y'all, let us get on to this airbrushing video. Okay, y'all, I had been saving this and I figured I needed to do something that would really get me out of my comfort zone because, you know, it's rough. I just want to lay in bed with my fucking blanket over my head, but my friends are not going to allow me to do that. So, you should have seen the actual area of where I film. I had everything covered in saran wrap because I'm a klutzy ass bitch. And I knew that paint was going to go flying. I just knew it. So if it does get blurry or you see little lines, that's the saran wrap. Because I wasn't going to ruin my phone on top of everything else. So, I mean, I wrapped my ring lights, my phone. I put that brown paper behind it just in case, which was good. Now, I did open it and charge it, and it has a regular USB charger cord. You know, you have to have the little ice cube thing, but it charged very, very quickly, and it was really easy to use once I got through it. That is the charging cord there. Now, I just want to show you the little instructions that they give. Basically, some of them needed an extra screw to attach to the motor. So I was actually one of those pumps, but basically that's all they talk about and give you the, you know, the specifications on it, all the info. Now they give you 3 sizes of wells, I'm going to call them, that attach to the top of the actual gun itself. There's the one that I use, the small one, and then the medium and the large ones that I put the little wrench and the little screw that actually goes on the front of the trigger piece. What's in my left hand, I'll call the trigger piece. So you see, I started with the big cup just to check it out. I pricked my finger on the damn needle that is out in the front. So I decided to go with the small one, like I said, and of course I pricked my hand right there again, because there is a very, very fine needle, and that little screw that was in the large well, that right there has to go on there. So it hides the needle, and that actually helps the paint disperse with the air. Okay, so that is the actual motor where you attach the trigger piece to. I'm glad that I didn't try to voice over this as I was going, because there are a lot of starts and stops, so it's gonna look a little choppy, but I think you'll be You're gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh. Now, that little button that I'm pushing, it goes back and forwards, but it also goes down, which I was not comprehending at first. So if you pull it back, it seems like the air comes out, and then when you push it back, like if it's pulled back and pushed down, that's when the paint gets put into play. Now these little, I call them bottle brush cleaners. Well, not that, that's like a blade, but the other little sticky things, I bought these separate. They're to help you clean out any, you know, especially that trigger part. I had a hard time getting a lot of the paint out. The fact that it was still wet made it very, very easy. And of course I used those with the bristles. But if there is a problem, you can always soak it, and you know, it takes a way longer process, but you can get it clean even if it dries in there. It just, you don't want to do that, so take care of your airbrush. So the airbrush itself was like $30 on AliExpress, and that little kit was only like $3 or $4. And like I said, I am so glad that I bought it, because it would have been a big ass mess. Now, I had been previously buying like every color that I could of acrylic paint, and I've never used them, because I was going to attempt doing like painted flowers and stuff like that, where you can't really use gel polish because it wants to level itself out, but I never got there. So these little squeeze bottle things are from the dollar store. The paints are from Walmart. They were 50 cents a piece. Not the glow paints. Those were like a couple dollars each. But all the other matte colors of that Apple Crate brand are 50 cents a piece. Or at least they were. I'm not sure what they are now post-COVID. So when I first ordered it, I went through and I found all different things that you can do to dilute the paint. You can use, some said rubbing alcohol, some said water, some said, you know, they were selling a product, like a paint thinner kind of thing, but it was like $15 for a little thing, and I was like, no, if you could do it with water or alcohol, then what the fuck am I going to spend $15 on, right? So, I tried to do it this way, and it really didn't work because I couldn't get the right ratio down. I ended up putting way too much water versus the paint, because it was sticking to the sides, and I could have been going back and forth with it. But that's why they add this damn dropper, because you can mix it right in the little well that, you know, you put the paint in. You can mix it right in there. So you put a couple drops of paint, couple drops of water, mix it around with like a toothbrush. Yeah, with a toothbrush. With a toothpick. Y'all know I love my toothpicks. I use them for almost everything. And get started that way. So that's what I did. Okay, I do want to show you this mistake part. So that's what the paint looks like when it's in the little thing. I was getting all caught on saran wrap everywhere. But as I was doing it, I could see color, so I thought it would be okay, but it was too watered down. Or the color that I chose to paint the nails that I worked on was a little too close to pink, and it just wasn't popping the way that I was hoping it would. I should have probably left them on the stands, but I wasn't too confident with that. So as you can see, there's a little light coloring going on there, but in person it looks like nothing. Like the camera is picking up the color so much better, which is crazy because it's usually the other way around. But you know, it looked okay at first, but I ended up switching to the white because, like I said, it was really hard to see in person. Now this, I sprayed it so much that I sprayed the paint away. So, okay, so I mixed up the paint right in the little bowl thing. And look at that. Look at how beautiful that is, right? I did test it out a little bit on the paper first, but the fact that I was turning it on its side while it was still wet affected the colors. But again, in person, it didn't quite look as great as it does on camera. And there is something called orange peel, where it leaves little bumps and ridges because the paint isn't dry yet and you're putting more paint or too much air pressure on that area. My dad actually gave me that information, so. Now, please excuse my mess. I just wanted to go through some of the stencils that I do have, dollar store stencils, stuff that was ordered off of AliExpress, French liner stickers, which is what I ended up using. And please don't mind my mess. I mean, I had to shove a whole bunch of stuff aside so that I could try to do this. So that's what all that is about. So I decided to go with some of the heart and then some of the zigzags and stuff to see how it would actually look. And I used one of the removable full length things. I didn't want to waste my She Modern stencils. I mean, it's not a waste, but you know, I want to save it for when I actually need it, not for just practicing. So I decided to go with this. So the white zigzag that's on there right now is a sticker. I have never had good results with stencils, whether it's with gel polish or regular polish. I don't know if they just don't stick right, or I'm not applying them right, or, you know, I'm sure there's probably multiple issues. So, like I said, this is just practice and playing, so it does look a lot brighter on camera than it does in person, but I was very happy with the result, even if there was some leftover spritzing on the other parts of the nail. So for this one, I decided to do like a hollow heart. It was easy to apply, of course, and was not really hard to get off, but it did leave that like aura around it, you know? So it wasn't just like an airbrushed heart, it had that extra fuzziness around the outside, which is okay, and a lot of times people will want that as an airbrushed look. But you can remove it with acetone, and I would recommend for something like this with a Q-tip, because I tried to do it with my hands and a paper towel, and it just ended up smudging it worse. Now this is another stencil from that same set. I made sure that the sticker was firmly placed, and now I'm just spray painting the front as much as I feel like. There was a little extra of that zhuzh going around on the bottom part of that, and I was able to fix that with the acetone. So even if it dries completely, you can take the whole thing off with acetone, but just be aware, you know, because you're stripping the polish as well after you do it the first time or so. So, you know, that's a factor to think of. So here's a little close-up of that zhuzhiness I'm talking about so that you can see. And like I said, I just used some acetone on a little piece of, like a lint-free wipe or a piece of paper towel, whatever you use, and it cleaned it up beautifully. And that is the finished look, I think. Yep, that's the finished look for that. So this is the last stencil that I'm going to use. This is the reusable one that I was talking about. I wasn't worried about it fitting the whole nail or anything. I was just trying to get the actual stencil in the right place, and I actually had a bit of a hard time doing it. That's why I don't normally do them. Okay, so I had to cut that time out because it would have been forever. So I applied it as best I could, and now I'm going in with the airbrush. And again, to get the airbrush to work, you have to pull back the little nozzle and push down, because if you pull back, it's only the air, and when you push down, it adds the paint. So by this point, I was actually starting to get tired because, you know, the stopping and starting and is it working or isn't it working and all that stuff was actually a little high pressure. It wasn't as crazy as I expected. Knock on wood, I didn't get paint everywhere, so that's good. And that's how that stencil turned out. Again, it's not perfect, it's not even, but this is just a fun play around. I'm not actually trying to create anything amazing, but I did think that you would find this interesting. So I did a white ombre over the pink because, like I said, you can't even see the pink really in person. So I wanted to try it again on another nail. So this is the one that I could grab the style and the shape. So I just put some color on it, put it on there, and I guess my finger was too too close to where I was trying to do the ombre, because it ended up being more like an ombre with a a Lunula or whatever, you know, like where it has like that half moon of light color. It was kind of like that. And this is how I learned that you can't just take acetone and wipe it across the bottom to try to fix it. It's better to just start over again. We're going to do it one more time because the other nail I painted a little bit too light and I felt like the image was not, you know, it wasn't good enough. So, or the contrast wasn't good enough. So I tried to do it again. My finger was sticking to the inhibition layer like crazy. And you can see the mess on the cap once I go in with that. But like I said, it cleaned up very, very easily. I just wanted to make sure the paint was not gunking up in there, and it wasn't. But, you know, I had some uckas on my fingers, and it transferred to the damn airbrush. But like I said, if you clean it off as soon as you're done, you don't have to worry about an issue like that at all. Okay, so this one will give you the idea I was talking about with the half moon shape, the Lunula. You can see it on the bottom. Normally the Lunula, or whatever it's called, is just a little half circle. It's not as large as that, but I did want to show what happens when you try to just swipe it across with acetone, because that's what I did, and I figured I could just kind of blur it a little bit, but it just makes a big sharp cut, and you can't get it back. So, there it is. So it just looks funny. It kind of looks like a candy corn, and that's my problem with ombres anyway, is that they end up looking like that. So I attempted to try to blend it down, but it just didn't work for me. So I would recommend just wiping the whole thing clean and starting fresh. Oh, and my hands are fine. I was using gloves that had powder in them because I want to try to get rid of them because the rest of my family is allergic to it and I'm not. So I've been using those, but I realized how weird it looks. I never noticed until now that it looks like I have like peeling skin or whatever, but that is not the case. It's just the powder in there and me sweating because, you know, I'm a big girl, you know, it gets hot, you know. So those are the 3 nails that I kept. The one that is a ombre over the pink is to the right. The middle one is a regular ombre, and then the third one to the left is, or the first one to the left, I should say, is, you know, just with a French stencil. I hope y'all enjoyed this. I had fun playing with it, and I definitely needed a little something to kick me in the butt. So please please block my IG accounts. I will not be contacting anyone through there for the near future, at least. I will be on Facebook, TikTok, and Pinterest if you are interested, and of course here on YouTube. Don't forget about the sale. Please share the sale. Please, please, please share the sale. I really want it to do well so I can move these products out to get new ones for next year. So sharing would really, really help. And if you want the link for this airbrush, let me know down in the comments. I will give it to you, and for the cleaning kit. And I think that's about it. Thanks so much for watching. Have a marvelous day. And thanks again. Mwah.